the other flag bearers. What swayed away your mind for you not to petition?
Well, you can't judge your own case. It's a dogma in law. The petitions were being handled by the same people at Plot 13 Chadondo Road. How could I petition Plot 10 Chadondo Road? And that's where they were even sitting. So those people could not judge their own case. All the problems and the irregularities were created by them. So if you tell me to go and petition to Dr. Tango Doi, who's a party in the case, then that would mean something else. I didn't take part in the petition. I wasn't interested in the petition. Even if I had, those people are already biased against me.
Well, now you have decided to come as an independent candidate. What were the push factors?
I'm the people's mayor. I'm the people's mayor. My opponent, Salim Uhuru, is Tango Doi's mayor. So it's people versus Tanga. The power of the people drove me to what I am in now, to come as an independent candidate. He has the flag, but the flag without people doesn't have value and content. I have the people. Let's wait for the final. And I'm sure he'll see that the people loved me more than him.
All said and done, are you seeing a leveled ground for you? Is the ground leveled?
Timothy, in most cases, the ground, you can't say it is leveled or not leveled. But in life, there has to be basic minimum standards. Basic minimum standards. The Electoral Commission of Justice Byabakama has those basic minimum standards, which were lacking in our Electoral Commission on Plot 13. At least in Justice Byabakama, you can be provided with a register. You know how many voters are in Kampala Central. You know the polling stations. You know the modus operandi of the elections, which was lacking in our elections. In our elections, by 8 o'clock, you'd find that City Square polling station has already voted with 8,000 votes. Between me and you, where do you get 8,000 people at City Square? YWCA, by 10 o'clock in the morning, AM, they'd already voted with 3,000 people. YMCA, behind City CPS, where do you get such people? Those figures were hypothetical. They are not real. But in the Justice Byabakama's case, the election is precise and true and real and definite. The terms of reference are clear and precise.
Well, let us address our mind to the city,
yes,
Kampala Central,
yes, sir,
that you want to be its mayor.
Yes, sir.
When you look at Kampala Central,
yes, sir,
what's wrong with it?
Before I come to what's wrong with Kampala Central, I want to first finish and conclude with what happened during the elections. Timothy, you're very much aware that I was molested and beaten. I personally, as a candidate, didn't vote. When I went to my polling station at Bat Valley Primary School, that is Nakasero 3, I found a group of boys, youth. I can't call them that big name of Bayai or hooligans, because these are boys who are vulnerable and they're being paid to do that. They really beat me up and I wasn't given the opportunity to vote. My opponent, Mr. Salim Uhuru, was moving with a group of youth numbering to between 150 to 200 from one polling station to another, voting for himself. I personally could do it because the youth are vulnerable. They are being paid to do that. I couldn't do that because the moment you let these youth down from the ghettos on the streets, they do a lot of havoc. And indeed, havoc was done on the people of Kampala Central.
On what happened to you and how your main political rival was moving around with hooligans. Of course, you would not like calling them hooligans, but the acts summarizes it to hooligans, believing in beggars politics.
Exactly.
So, throw more light on that. What What do you read out of the conduct of your political rival?
Well, one quality is of a good leader: maturity, patience, and discipline. If you don't have discipline and maturity in what you're doing as a leader, then you fall below the required standards. We are vying for these positions to serve the people, my brother. We're not vying these positions for jobs and financial benefits. What my colleague, Mr. Salim Hul, did, he exposed himself to the public and showed the public his inefficiency in leadership. He came with goons in many polling stations. I personally didn't vote. I was beaten up. When I went to vote at my polling station on Bat Valley Primary School, that is Nakasero 3, I found a group of goons. They all bombarded me. They started beating me up. I couldn't vote. This didn't only happen to me. My opponent, I mean my voters, my agents, my supporters in Kagugube, in Bokesa, in Kisenyi 1, Kisenyi 2, Kisenyi 3, Mengo, Nakasero 4, they are all denied their right to vote.
All this happening under the watchful eye of police and electoral officials?
The electoral officials were virtually not there because, like I told you, my opponent is the chairman of the party. The electoral officials were his polling agents, in other words. They were electoral officials at the same time his polling agents because they were under his command and instructions. Everything that happened, he was the one telling them what to do. For instance, like I told you, how dare you tell me that people, 3,000 people, voted by 10 o'clock at YWCA, that is behind CPS. 1,800 on Radio Uganda. 8,000, all in favor of my opponent. And in all those polling stations, I got 5 or 0-0. It was a systematic way of giving me votes.
It was an inside game?
Yes, it was an inside game.
Now, let's get back to the question that I did ask you.
Yes.
You are vying for leadership.
Yes,
of
yes.
Kampala Central.
Indeed, true.
But when you look at Kampala Central, it's like a warm-eaten house.
Yes.
This city seems not to have a plan.
You're right.
What do you make of the kind of city that you are going to take over?
My brother Timothy, your question is quite relative. It is both political, economic, and social. Politically, we need vibrant and clear leadership in the city. There have been a lot of squabbles and wars in the city of Kampala. Politicians are fighting among themselves. I can refer you to Central Division, Kampala Central Division. The current mayor, my brother Charles, has been in a long battle with his fellow councillors. And you see, between me and you, if you have those cobwebs in your head, you can't do much in terms of development and leadership. Those small trivial wars, councillor against mayor, mayor against councillor, and up to now, development has been stifled by wars. You find that the division is fighting with the center. Economically, Timothy, Kampala is the center of gravity in Uganda. What do I mean? It is the capital city. We have a lot of rural to city migration. Government, the central government, needs to plan with Kampala Capital City Authority and in particular Central Division, because whatever we're getting in Central Division, the influx of people come from all over Uganda, from Karamoja, from Kabarole, from Mbale, from wherever everybody wants to be in the city center. So we cannot plan the city alone. We need to plan the city in commiserate with the central government. The central government should put in a lot of money in Kampala Central Division. And that money to come in Kampala Central Division, we need a capable leader who can make friends and who is eloquent and capable to source for that assistance and that money.
Mr. Patrick,
yes, sir.
You're trying to say that the disorganized Kampala that we are seeing, it is as a result of poor leadership?
And inefficiency.
Efficiency? Leaders who think about, all the time they think about politics rather than service delivery?
People who don't think about other people. People who think about themselves. People who are not result-oriented. Timothy, I'm a businessman. In business, we believe in results. We believe in results. We believe in output. We don't just believe in a hypothetical world, in the world which doesn't exist. I, as the mayor of Kampala Central, will be a policy maker. I will not be a desk man to always be writing and signing documents. I'll be on the ground. I'll be a hands-on person. You need to be having that taste of the city. You have to compare comparisons with Kampala City and other cities. Many conferences and seminars are being privileged to KCCA and Kampala Central Division officials, politicians and technical people. But what they have copied outside, they have not replicated it here in the Central Business District, because we're seeing a lot of confusion. I can say it's, on one hand, lack of taste, determination, and clear leadership.
What about resources?
Well, the resources are there, but in most cases, before you think about resources, think about you as a person. Those resources are mobilized by leaders. Resources will never be enough. Whatever resources are there, something should be done. Kampala Capital City Authority or Central Kampala Central Division has more resources and better resources than Kigali City. But can you compare the two? Leadership, the person, the quality of a person. What tastes does he have? Who is he? You see, that branding itself determines who is a mayor. And between me and you, my brother Timothy, the word mayor in quotes means a lot of things. It's just, it's not a career job. A mayor is somebody who is over and above certain levels in society, who can help the people, who can give back to the people, who can make friends for his people to benefit from.
But between me and you,
yes, sir.
We do understand that the KCCA Act 2010 stripped away powers,
yes, sir,
of Central Division mayors.
And all divisions.
It kicked out,
yep,
those that we used to know as clerk,
town clerks, yes.
The revenue collections of Central Division,
yes,
were taken away.
Yes, sir.
Now, if luck is on your side,
yes, sir,
and you get into this office,
yes, sir,
are you not seeing a dilemma whereby you cannot plan because you do not have the resources? The resources all are being taken by KCCA.
Timothy, luck has always been on my side, and my name depicts that. Mugisa means luck, and I've always been lucky. I can assure you that they have devolved back powers to the Central Division. Besides that, a lazy man cannot fail to have an excuse. Kampala Central Division doesn't exist in isolation. All divisions during Madame Jennifer Musisi's time, their powers were controlled at the center. But I can give you an example. If you look at divisions like Nakawa, Honorable Barimwezo has done a lot for his people. He has been existing and appearing in the same scenario like Kampala Central Division. But we people in Kampala Central Division can have nothing to show, apart from our mayor, the current mayor, telling people that he doesn't have the powers are in the center. Timothy, I can assure you, even if the powers are in the center, as long as I have my brains, because my brains are still with me, they have not been captured or taken to the center, the Central Division will thrive and be successful.
Are you, when you look at all these crisis management of the city,
yes,
is there a need to revisit the KCCA Act,
yes,
to return mayors the powers to control collected revenues within their areas of jurisdiction?
Timothy, the definition of a leader has to be there in bad and good. If you're made a leader, you're not only made to manage angels and saints. You're not only made to manage good, you're made to manage bad and good. Not only angels and saints. Why am I saying this? In any situation, a leader has to sail through, has to be over and above those situations. My brother who has been in this seat, whom I wish doesn't even dare come back, or contest because he has nothing to show, was lacking those qualities. If you are made a leader, you have to show your worth in the times of a crisis. That's when your potential is determined. That's when your worth is shown and defined. I've given you an example of Honorable Balimwezo. Balimwezo was existing in the similar situations, but Naka was thriving. Central was lagging behind. Excuses all the time, excuses all the time. Mugisa Patrick, I have qualities of leadership. I have qualities of managing institutions. I have qualities of managing a crisis management. Madam Jennifer Musisi was a human being like any other person. It was a matter of the relationship you have with her. And services would come back to your people. But if it was a clash or a complex, I can say, some people looked at her as a goddess, a small goddess, which I don't think it was. She was approachable. You'd talk to her. But others, because of the complex, they used to fear her, thinking that she was omnipotent, invisible, and strong like I don't know what.
Well, I had earlier described the capital Kampala as a worm-eaten house, especially the area that you seek to take over leadership, Kampala Central.
Yes.
You have about 3 to 4 slums.
Yes.
Big slums.
Yes.
You have Katanga, you have Chibulu, you have Chifumbira slum.
Yes.
But does this bother you? That all the time that these slums have existed, they do not have, with the exception of Chifumbira that has a primary school, that has no health center.
Yes.
The other slums do not have health centers, do not have schools. Children trek long journeys to access education and health facilities. Does this bother you as you seek to walk into this office?
Timothy, that bothers me a lot. I can't even express how much it bothers me, because all those places, I've visited them. I have a personal touch with all those people. Apart from Katanga, Katanga is in Kawempe, but all those ghettos you mentioned about, Chisenyi 1, 2, 3, Chifumbira, Kagugube, Chitamanyangamba, Chivulu 1 and 2 industrial area, all those are in their need of help. Timothy can tell you, I won't mention the place, but in Kampala here, there are many villages where you find a whole village of about 3,000 people being serviced by one toilet, by one latrine. That one makes me sick. The resources are available in KCCA. One time, even during my campaign trail, I tried to lobby KCCA to make sure they bring in services or they make toilets for the people in the ghettos. But KCCA was telling me they don't have the land. If need be, not if need be, KCCA should buy land and build toilets, because it's a very, very pathetic problem.
And where do you see the problem? Is it lack of political will? By those who wield power?
You have said it well, my brother. You have said it well. Lack of political will. Because there's nothing impossible. How much does a toilet cost? You just need about less than 10 decimals, the least, to put up a very good toilet, a waterborne toilet for the area. But the political leaders are only showing themselves now at this time of elections. Both of my contestants, I can say both. Salim Uhuru has been the chairman of NRM in Kampala Central. Charles Msoke Serunjoji has been the mayor of Kampala Central. Twice. He wants to come the 3rd time. Let them show their balance sheet. Let them show what they have done for the people. They shouldn't take people for granted. Our people are in their need of services. Like you have mentioned, many services. Before even to talk about the services, even reaching them out, talking to them, giving them esteem. Most of them lack esteem. They lack that social fiber network.
So how are you going to manage that kind of quagmire in the slum areas? Because when we look at what is going on in slum areas, it's really pathetic. You have young ladies being pushed into marriage at about 16, 18 years. We are having young boys who have dropped out of school, have now resorted to taking cocaine, marijuana, and so on. That is a dead generation. What plans do you have for such a kind of situation?
Timothy, you have talked about young girls giving birth at 16. You've put it at a higher side. I say this with a bleeding heart because I'm a parent. I have daughters. Kids are giving birth at 12 years, 11 years. At 19, someone's kid has 3 kids. As a parent, I feel my heart is bleeding when I'm saying this. And for the information, dear viewers, I've decided to love those kids, to break that cycle. That is a cycle of poverty. How do you break it? You get 1 or 2, 3 people whom you can support and educate and sensitize so that it doesn't continue. Because if you don't break that cycle, even these kids who have been produced at a tender age will do the same. You'll find that about 4 or 5 generations are being killed. But all this thing has been done in the watch and the eyes of the political leaders in Kampala Central. I personally am a politician, but I'm more of a philanthropist than a politician. I like reaching out to people. I love people. I love feeling for the people. My brother Timothy, we live in this world, but all these material things are nothing. The biggest reward or asset are the people, regardless, across the board. Because even where families where we come from, Timothy, we are not all privileged. Me and you might have seen some blackboards, but many of our kinsmen don't have that privilege. And most of them are in those ghettos you're talking about. What do we do for them? Because when we converge for family meetings or in our homesteads in the village, we mix with them. We need to help our people. Timothy, we need to come out as leaders, politics aside or with politics, because this pathetic situation is going out of hand.
Let us talk about the health services.
Yes, sir.
In most of the area that you want to take over.
Right.
I do believe that you do not have a referral hospital.
Oh, no.
Because the one that we see, it is in Nagu referral hospital.
You're right.
Which is the other end of Nakwa division.
Yes, yes.
Then we have Chirundu, which is the other end of Kawempe.
Yes.
You have none. Other than Mulago Hospital.
Yes.
Mulago, which is, somebody cannot walk from here and go to Mulago. They will have to first push you to Chirundu. Or is this something that...
yeah, it really hurts me.
The other centers that we see have no drugs.
What hurts me most, Timothy, are the illegal drug shops and clinics that are operating in the ghettos. It's like adding insult to injury or pouring petrol in fire. Our people are vulnerable. Our people live below the required standards. Our people, I can say, they are not literate as me and you. When someone falls sick, they rush to the drug shops. And most of these drug shops, like the word shop, they are shops indeed. Their ultimate aim is to maximize profits and make money. In most cases, they prescribe drugs that they are not meant to be genuine or used for that particular sicknesses. But the central government is looking on. Many clinics are operating in the ghettos.
You say that the central government is looking on. Patrick, when you get into that office, are you not seeing yourself fighting a losing battle when the central government is not on your side? Because it's the one that's supposed to provide these resources that we're supposed to pretend over.
My brother Timothy, the central government is part of us. We are a subset of the central government. We don't exist in isolation. The fountain of honor is the president. We are all subordinate to him. It's a matter of connecting with the central government and we get these services. But like I said before, it depends.
But connectivity has not been there.
The connectivity is not there. There's been disconnection. Yes, yes. To be honest.
By default.
Yes.
Because even Godfrey Nyakana.
Yes.
suffered the same dilemma.
Yes, sir.
He was an NRM
leaning, yes.
Leaning,
yes.
But
yes.
he suffered
yes.
Lack of political willingness.
Yes, yes, sir.
To help him move the city to Kampala Central to another level.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that will be exceptional?
My brother Nyakana tried his level best. And I can assure you, to be precise and clear, he tried. But I can assure you that this gentleman who is in the seat here has drastically failed, incredibly failed.
I know.
Yes, yes, and he's trying to come back. It's upon the electorates, dear viewers, to look at his balance sheet and see, did he make for them losses or he made for them profits?
Is it because that he does not read from the same page with the ruling party?
That's one. That is, I can say, a lame excuse, because Balimwezo was not NRM. He delivered services to his people. I have properties in Nakawa where roads and all those services are being done. You go to Naguru, go down, see how many toilets they have. The services extended to them by Honorable Balimwezo. Balimwezo was SDP. He was not NRM. So that excuse, the lame excuse of saying that you're not in NRM so that services cannot be delivered, that's a lazy man's excuse. It's the character of the person. Dear viewers, look at the character. Look at the character. Much as we have party colors, but the personality of a person. What can people do? How do you connect with the people? How do you connect with government? Kampala Central is a subset of Uganda. Kampala Central is not a country. It's a city that exists in Uganda.
Well, now, let me take you on to what has been the talk of the city.
Yes.
Interest of businessmen versus interest of politicians.
Yes.
If we are to look at the tenancy landlord law,
yes,
that put a lot of taxes on even small landlords in ghettos and so on. Kampala State Council,
yes,
including the central, Kampala Central leadership, you have gone leveling people's houses in ghettos who are earning small scale to pay taxes for
properties.
For properties.
Yes.
But the argument is the law seems not to be fair, because you cannot say that that person, that landlord in a slum, should pay the same tax with that one running serious real estates. This is one way of pushing out ghetto people out of the city.
My brother Timothy, the land, the KCCA Act was enacted in 2010. It gave all the powers to the center, that is KCCA. As of 2019, last year, the power has devolved back to the divisions. That's why I say I'm lucky, because though they say luck is an opportunity that finds someone prepared, I'm prepared for this office, and good enough, power has come back to the center, to the divisions. When I become the mayor of the division, I don't subscribe to that local government tax or property right tax to the vulnerable poor. It is a big headache. Those people are living on the bare minimum. Those people survive on small loans from SACCOs and CBOs, microfinance. Their earnings are really small. If you levy on them taxes like license, trading license, property rates, local government taxes, that's overtaxation for them. And even during this period, Mr. Timothy Sibasi, I want to reach out to the president to talk about that issue, because our people, especially the vulnerables, are really finding it hard, because KCCA is always on their neck. Look at the situation, my brother. Someone's living in a 2-bedroom house. The behind room is his mansion. The front house, the front room is his shop. You're collecting taxes and he has defaulted. Then you come with a seal and lock the front with a seal. That is a double jeopardy. You've locked somebody's business and somebody's house. Where do you expect such a person to sleep or to stay? But you find that our political leaders are so adamant about that, extremely adamant. But that's the issue I've found down in the ghettos. Most people are living in two-bedroom roomed houses. The front is the shop, and the behind is the bedroom and the house and the sitting room and everything. If you come and look the main building, I mean the main house, I mean the main door in the front, that is the shop. You look somebody's life.
So, as we almost come to the end of this Race 2021
yes, sir.
show tonight, what are you capable of doing in your first 100 days?
In fact, my first 100 days, one, I personally, and as an institution, I first talk as Mugisa. Mugisa, as a person, I came with qualities. I didn't come with bare hands. I have a foundation called Mugisa Foundation. In the first 100 days, that foundation will be handed over to the people of Kampala Central. And each parish of the 20 parishes in Kampala Central will have 2 representatives on that Mugisa Foundation. That is the foundation which will be helping the vulnerable poor. I've made friends, Mr. Timothy Sibasi, across the board. In Uganda, I've traveled a lot. They want to help. Like I told you, I'm a philanthropist. I want to collect money from friends and associates into that basket to help the poor, to help the vulnerables. Right now, I have a lot of people I'm paying for school fees. Right now, I'm lobbying scholarships from my friends like KIU, Haj Hassan Basajabala has given me a lot of scholarships, more than 10 scholarships, as a friend. But if I happen to be in that office, which I'm going to be in the next few months, I feel that that basket of mine will collect more, but it will be for the people, and it will be managed by them. Mugisa Foundation for Kampala Central. Each parish will have 2 representatives, a lady and a man, and it will be helping the vulnerable poor. And for the sake of the office which I'm going to hold, I want to look at a situation whereby I reach out to the people. Sensitization. You've talked about the ghetto, the slums. Sometimes the slums is the mindset, the attitude. We need to sensitize our people. We need to show them that they can also be what we are.
You are bringing Mugisa Foundation,
yes, sir,
into a society that is eaten up by corruption.
Yes, sir.
What's your position about the war against corruption, more especially in Kampala Central, where everything that you touch on, if you do not cough a coin, then you cannot access services?
To split it further, if you talk about corruption, the corruption that is visible for me and you to see, and for everybody, dear viewers, the law enforcement. Look at the law enforcement of KCCA. You have seen hawkers being arrested on the streets. Those boys move with a capital of less than 50,000, but every day they are arrested, most days or every day, and taken to City Hall. But getting out of City Hall is 10 times their capital. That's about 500,000. But that issue can be handled better. If you have experience, Timothy, the people who arrest those boys, they have 2 teams. They have a team that comes in plain clothes. They have a team that has uniforms at pickup with policemen. Why do you come stealthily, tiptoeing to arrest someone? Come in your uniform, or station people on the streets where you don't want those boys to operate, or sensitize them and have an amicable relationship with them. But this business of creating businesses for certain people, or for hawkers becoming a stock in trade.
Well, Patrick, the biggest mistake in leadership is having leaders who are liars.
Very true.
This is what has been happening.
Very true.
To many of the predecessors.
Exactly.
Yeah. Central.
Right.
Who have always taken people in the slum areas who are the potential voters.
Exactly.
For granted, they remember them during electioneering time. Once that is done, they run away, they forget
Yes.
about them. Can I know from you tonight, because you are making a confession, these people are watching, the world is watching,
Right.
that you are not going to be like those who take the ghetto people, the slum people,
For a ride.
for a ride,
Right.
targets during electioneering. And once the mission is done, they come back after 5 years.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Timothy. In my small humbleness, I'm not coming to look for a job, Tim. I'm coming to serve. And mayorship is all about service to the population. And before you offer service, you should first offer yourself and your immediate people. Who is Mugisa Patrick, first of all? What has he done for the people? What has he done for himself? Is he looking for a job? Is he coming to the city to buy suits and cars and land and buildings? I've come to serve, my brother. I have a calling from the people. Our people are vulnerable. People don't need much. Giving back to people is not only financial. People need love. People need care. People need advice.
And that remark brings us to the end of the race 2021 tonight.
Thank you.
We thank you very much, Mr. Mugisa, for being part of the show. And I wish you all the best in your campaign trail. Thank you very much.